You can adapt well to any situation. Just be easy on yourself when it gets hard and be hard on yourself when it gets easy. It's called moderation, and I want to remind you that you get what you settle for. So set your mind to settle for what you know you're capable of and you know that you deserve it. Your energy is stronger than anything that comes your way, my friend. I want to give you a practical video that can create big changes in your life, and anyone who will apply what we'll be talking today will start experiencing big changes. You will notice that actually you are the one that is in control of most of the things that are happening in your life, and you have the power to change what is happening in your life. When you start taking more control over how you choose to see things and what you're doing with what you have, the time, the ability to take action, the ability to think more clearly, more practically, more wisely. So, my friends, you are always gravitated towards what you care the most. And once you fully recognize what it means, you are always gravitated towards what you care the most. You will notice that if you're constantly complaining about certain situations, you will just start seeing more of the similar situations. When you're constantly judging a certain type of people, you will constantly be meeting this same type of people because that's how reality is reflecting back to you. So when you start caring more about the growth, more about a certain expansion, more about a certain skill you want to develop, like you want to become good at something and you really start caring about it, the way that you start reading about it, you start educating yourself about it, you start doing more of it, you will be gravitated towards the version of yourself that is already there. You will notice that actually more you care about personal growth, more you're growing, more you care about abundance, more you find ways to become more abundant, more you care about love, more loving you will become. That's just a natural process. We're constantly gravitated towards what we care the most. Once you know that, you open up for big changes because you start making big changes in your life. So many big changes are about to take place in your life when you start caring more about the positive changes that are about to happen in your life. Then create space for positive changes. What does it mean? You have to create space for the changes. Start doing instead of just thinking. And sometimes, we find ourselves talking about what we'll do, but often then we don't do it. So instead of talking and thinking, actually take time and do it. And make some results and see how things are moving forward. That's how you make space for changes. Remove what is not supporting the life you want to live. Move it away or sell it or let go of it, like a distraction or whatever is not allowing you to grow. If you're in an environment where it is not supporting your growth, consider to change it. Consider to move yourself to a new place. Consider to go to travel a little bit, or at least learn to set boundaries so you can have your own space, so you can do what you really want to do with your life. Because otherwise you'll always be controlled by that outside forces. Like a person who has a big screen TV on the wall will most probably rather go and watch movies than a person who has a big shelf of books in that same room, or at least similar room. Adapt your environment the way that will support the process of transformation you're moving through. That's how you create space for changes. Practice more gratitude. That's how you create space for changes. Demonstrate your capabilities. That's how you create space for changes. When you know that you want to live a more meaningful life, demonstrate it. Start living more meaningful life. Start doing more things that bring meaning to your life, that bring joy to your life. That's how you create space for positive changes. When you start moving into the direction where you would like to go, you start making space for new things to find you, because now you're taking new actions, now you're thinking new thoughts, now you're building new beliefs, and you're experiencing new emotions. And ask for help when you need it. That's how you create space for positive changes. Ask for help. The third reminder is that when you think you're not making enough of money, and this one is really important one, also take time to think about how could you make more money, and take time to do something about it. Because many people are just thinking, oh, I'm not making enough, oh, I'm being broke. But never take time to think how to manage your money, and maybe how to invest, or how to make more money. What could be side things you could do, or actually what would be a new project you could start on, or actually if you would ask for help for someone who is already making as much as you would like, you may just learn something new. Like in the past, when I was thinking about how to make more money, I've started writing down, like I'm already making this amount of money per month. I was starting writing it down, 21 sentences for 21 days, and I was reading it before I went to sleep, and when I woke up I've started reading it once again. So I've started thinking like I already have this money, like I already am making this amount of money, and then I've started learning from people who are making that amount or more. Like a great book, Think and Grow Rich. I've started learning from people who are already making this amount of money. So I was able to recognize what they are doing that I'm not doing, and how to do more of what they are doing that I'm not doing. Because most of us have not been trained to think more abundantly. So don't just think you're not making enough. Also take time to think how to make more, and do something about it. It's, sometimes we are worrying all day long instead of taking time for worrying and then taking time for constructive thinking. It's how we organize our time. The next reminder for big changes in your life is that you can adapt well to any situation. Something I've said to you at the beginning. Just be easy on yourself when it gets hard, and be hard on yourself when it gets easy. It's called moderation, right? We learn to navigate ourselves through life with a greater amount of self-love. And self-love means that when your life becomes hard, it means that everything is just exhausting you a little bit more. You're facing with new challenges, maybe some roadblocks may be appearing, and those are the times where you have to step back a little bit and look at things from a different perspective, and be kind towards yourself. You've done enough. Now be kind towards yourself. Learn self-kindness. Be compassionate towards yourself. Take it easy. Rest. Rejuvenate. And when you will feel like your batteries are recharging, now get back into the zone and push yourself a little bit more. Like stretch your boundaries and try something new, and be a bit harder on yourself, so you can see what else you're capable of. So you stop doing same things over and over again and expect different results. That's what Albert Einstein said. It's definition of insanity, when we're doing same things over and over again and we expect different results. And you actually start doing new things, pushing yourself to try something new, to connect with new people, even when it feels hard and when it feels like you're not really confident about it. Confidence can grow when you're willing to be without it. So you have to push yourself. And it's actually an act of love, because love wants you to grow. Love wants you to expand yourself like a flower that is constantly growing and opening up. And when it dies, it spreads seeds. So in the next season, more flowers can grow. That's the act of love. You're growing, expanding yourself, so we can later share something that you've learned, so eventually more people can grow and move through those kind of meaningful experiences as well. And that's what love wants you to do. So here and there, you have to be really, really easy and kind towards yourself, but you also need to have time where you push yourself and being hard on yourself. And moderation is the art of learning to navigate ourselves in balance through those different sensations and experiences. The next reminder for big changes is that you get what you settle for. You get what you settle for, my friend. Stop settling for what you don't want, but instead settle for what you want to experience. Really study what kind of life you want to live. Recognize where you are right now. Be honest with yourself. Truly be honest with yourself. And it means that you're truthful when you know, well, I'm not satisfied with my life. I'm not happy with my life. I'm broke. I'm tired. Whatever you may say to yourself, be honest with yourself, because only that way you can actually break through. You can't break through if you're pretending that you're okay when you're actually not. So be honest with yourself, because you only get what you settle for. So when you have a greater vision and you settle yourself to make it happen, you will find ways, you will find information, you will find help, you will find the right book that will help you to get there. But only when you settle for what you choose to experience. So really be careful with that, because your mind is so powerful. And when you focus on something, you will always find a way if you will be precise enough, if you will be consistent enough, and you will be truthful enough towards that vision that you have. Many times people quit just because they don't see results. But what if we are just not precise enough about what we want and how to get there, and studying the options and taking time to really think deeply and meditate about the potential options? Because that's where we grow the most, when we are actually finding the options where we thought that they are not present. It's not getting those results, but actually finding options and then trying them out, implementing what we've learned. That's where we grow. That's where we stretch ourselves. So those are the missing links that prevents us from living a life of fulfillment, because we think something is impossible and therefore we don't even try. So you always get what you settle for. The next reminder is that activities and places that will fill you with joy are the activities and places where your intuition wishes you to be. So really think about this right now. Activities and places that fill you with joy are the activities and places where your intuition wishes you to be. So don't just focus on what you want to have. Also think about where you feel the most joyful, where you feel the most fulfilled. Because that's what fills your cup, right? That's what fills you with life. And I can tell you, because when I feel like I have enough of my work, I will go outside on my bike, because every time I do that, I feel fulfilled. I feel like I just love riding my bike. I love to go to travel a little bit with my bike and to explore new places and to go mountain biking. And, I love those things. And when we find certain hobbies that are really fulfilling us, that are really making our lives more rich with experiences, it will be much easier for us to live in balance. We'll know, okay, right now I'm really creative and I want to work. I have a lot of energy to invest into my work. And then when we have enough of this, we also need to have something that fills us up, that makes our lives richer. So activities and places that fill you with joy are activities and places where your intuition wishes you to be. So that's why you naturally feel drawn to go maybe more often into nature, because that's where your intuition wants you to be, because that's where you download the most incredible ideas and energy that can help you to live more incredible life. The next reminder is that when people are putting you down, it's actually a sign of your growth and success. Most people want you to stay the same so they could resonate with you, so they could complain with you and they could exchange with you their negative thinking. And when you start growing and you start focusing on something greater and you start experiencing some success, they will start putting you down and pulling you down just because they're seeing that you're kind of separating yourself from them. So don't think bad about it. It's just a process of growth. It doesn't mean that you're now more important because you're growing or whatever, egoistic. It's just that you've decided to walk a new path. You've decided to live a life, and that's completely okay. So people will be putting you down, but also you will meet new people who will be above you in terms of growth and success, so you can learn from them. And that's just a natural process. So when people are putting you down, it's a sign of your growth and success. So please see it like that. Don't focus too much on them, because what they say to you, it has nothing to do with you, but everything with themselves. The next reminder is that when you feel the most alone, your higher power is closest to you. It's time to build intimacy with it, with your inner self or higher self, and meditate with it, connect with it, because that's the only reason why you are alone at those phases. We all have chapters in our lives where we just are more alone. People don't have time for us, or events turn the way that we are more alone. And from higher perspective, that's how life turns out. So we would develop a deeper connection with our inner self, with that wisdom of the universe. That's why when you feel most alone, your higher power is closest to you. At those times, it's the easiest way to connect with it, to establish a relationship with it, and recognize that it's a sign that a certain chapter of your life is ending and a new one is beginning. And by creating that stronger connection, you can experience wisdom and kind of advices or inspiration, what actions to take for that new chapter. Like in the past, as I've shared with you before, at some point I've quitted my job. Me and Maya went to travel, and that was the time when we were the most alone. And sometimes I had a time when I needed to be alone. Like even connection with Maya was too much to me, so I needed to be alone. And at those times when I was the most alone, I've experienced the most downloads, like how I really want to change my life and how I want to live. And that's where I've started this brand, I Draw My Passion. That's where I've started getting ideas and insights for drawings that later became paintings. And that's where I've started to sense this is what I want to do. So really honor yourself when you are in the chapter of your life where you feel most alone, because this is where your higher power is closest to you. The next reminder is that words are powerful. Words are spells. That's why it's called spelling. So be wise when you're speaking. Really pay attention to how you choose to express yourself. Are you using, kind and positive words towards yourself? Or are you just saying what you've heard from others? This is where we really need to get this sense of discernment. Like, what is honorable for us to say? What is truthful to say? Only speak what needs to be said, right? Be really wise with the words you're choosing. And when it comes to yourself, rather use some powerful affirmations than some negative thoughts. Like, my energy is stronger than anything that comes my way. I respond to life from my inner peace. Everything is leading me to even more abundant and prosperous life. I embrace the strength and courage of my ancestry. I only think the highest of thoughts that are constructive and creative, and so on. Be really kind towards yourself when it comes to the way you speak to yourself. Of course, be honest. When you're not okay, say to yourself, well, I'm not okay. What is missing? Be truthful towards yourself, but don't be constantly negative towards yourself, because if you would imagine like how you speak to your best friends or to kids, you will notice it's a different language. Now speak to yourself that same way. Look at yourself as being your best friend, and you will notice that relationship with yourself will change. The next reminder is that you are doing enough even if it doesn't feel like it. We're often being hard on ourselves because we think we haven't done enough, because we're not seeing results that we would like to see. And I understand that, because I was like that as well. But then I've noticed that, well, I've done enough. I've done my best today, and it's okay. I will see if I can change something tomorrow, but I've done my best. You're doing enough, even if it doesn't feel like it. Sometimes you're feeling more productive, sometimes you're feeling less productive. You've done what you've done, and that's okay. When you will start doing something new, or when you will, go on with the project, do what you can. But when you finish it, you've done enough. So this is just something, we need to learn to train ourselves to think like that. When we finish something, it's done. Tomorrow, I will go on. And from now on, I will enjoy my life. I will do what I love. I've done my best. So pay attention. If you are doing your best at whatever you're doing, even if you have a job that you hate, do your best at it. Do it with love, because that's how you train yourself to treat everything with love. Everything you do your best at it, because you're training yourself. Because maybe one day you will start something that will be more meaningful to you, and you will know how to do your best at it. So everything you do your best at it. And know that the only failure is when you don't try. The only failure is when you don't try. So, my friend, remind yourself, when you have this goal, when you have this dream, when you have this calling that you want to do something, the only failure is if you don't try. And the last reminder I want to give you, and this one is really important, is that when you look back, look for lessons and joyful memories. When you look forward, look for growth and more joyful moments. So in the now, in the present moment, you can decide what will be the most optimal thing to do, to be the most loving towards yourself. Often we are looking back like, oh, back at that time it was so much easier, it was so much better. And we kind of pull ourselves away from where we are right now, and therefore we miss the uniqueness of this time, of this chapter of life. And we think about the joyful moments of the past, and we forget about what this time is offering to us. So it's okay to think like that. But also we are living in a unique time that is offering us unique new experiences. So we have to also look forward for growth and for more joyful moments, so we can actually think about how much joy we can actually experience if we start looking forward with the same enthusiasm as we're looking into the past, or even greater enthusiasm, because we know that our future can be the product of today's transformation. So when I make a change, when I become a change today, my future is already being changed. So we become more enthusiastic about living the way that is more in accordance to who we want to be, to what is the greatest expression of ourselves. We focus more on the things we really love doing, people we really love, things we love, places we love, and less on the things that are draining us out and pulling us down and kind of sabotaging us. So, my friends, I hope you found something valuable today. Big changes are about to take place in your life when you become this change, and you know that you are capable of doing the best you can at anything you choose to do. You are a loving person, so love yourself enough to take care of yourself the way that you create an artwork out of your life. It's only done through love. So my friends, I'm sending you all lots of love, blessings, and power. Thanks to all of you for supporting my art in our Etsy store, I Draw My Passion. You're all truly appreciated. We are running a fresh sale, so go there and check it out. It's in the link is in the description, so thank you so much for your support. With that, you're supporting this mission. And till next time, one love.